find a problem, solve it, start a business, fam. It's pretty much that simple, actually. I think we tend to complicate things when we really think about it. Like, we make it more harder than what it really is. But the main key to it all, family, is finding a problem and solving it. Like, if you find a problem and you solve it, you open yourself up to more opportunities to prosper in the direction that you're going in with your business or whatever business you're trying to do. But you know, one thing I have noticed, like if you're in a certain area, family, you can have a great idea in a certain area and it won't work in that area because that area won't allow you to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Now you can take that same ideal and you can uproot it and you can go somewhere else, and then the idea can be prosperous. It can actually work. You know what I mean? But being where you at, you'd be like, nah, I can't pull it together here. And I think it's like that when we're, you know, starting businesses, when we're trying to find what it is we want to do. And the main thing is there's a lot of things that you're going to do that's just going to be able to make money. And we know the conflict of it is, we know it takes money to live, fam. You know, light bill, gas bill, phone bill, rent, all that good stuff, mortgage, whatever you got going. It takes money to live. So, you know, you got to have money. But then you know that in order to start a business, though, you're going to need more than money. You got to actually find a need. You got to solve a problem. And I understand it more now because once you do that, you're going to be more established. You know, once you solve a problem, you don't have to go look for the money no more. The money is going to come looking for you. Like, it's going to knock on your door, but you have to solve some problems. And I think that once we solve the correct problem or we get everything established correctly, then you're going to start seeing the fruit of your labor from finding that need. And then, like I say, sometimes you have to, once you find the needs in certain areas, and like I say, each area has its own thing. So if you don't want to upgrade or uproot yourself and go to a different city or a different location, you just got to find out how can you eat, how can you survive in that area by solving a problem in the area. And sometimes, you know, our problem solving we think of as something that we need. So you have to think outside of the box as far as yourself. You know, think about the community as a whole, what's going on in the area as a whole. How can I bring something here that can actually be a benefit, that can open up a door for not only me, for someone else, you know? So, you know, being in the South since I've been back, I've just noticed how education is a need here. And not just education, but tradesmanship, learning a physical trade. And not just any trade, welding. Welding is a big need. They're making a lot of money off of it, fam. You know, it is not going anywhere. They're building more products that takes assembly lines and processes and welds to be able to make it function. So it's not going anywhere. But in certain rural areas, we have always been taught one way, you know? So I feel like if we break the mold and the chain of just thinking one dimensional, you know, we got to start from somewhere. But if you're going to create a business or you're trying to start something, just see what that area needs. And since I've been around here in Southeast Arkansas, fam, I just noticed that it needs a lot of tradesmen. Like most people, you know, working at the chicken house, you know, or working at the dog place, or they got jobs. And then the jobs keeping them steady, but they don't have careers. And most of them want something that they actually can leave and take with them, other than getting transferred from this chicken plant to that chicken plant, or getting transferred from that Walmart to this Walmart. You know, um, I think that we have to really have something that's valuable. So if you plan on going to an area, even with your career, see what the need is. And I noticed, like, I've been looking out here lately, like there's a lot of needs in areas that's outside of this area. And sometimes, you know, it's based on your agenda what you want, because, you know, I have seen needs in areas where, you know, I didn't want to address that need. Because so sometimes you might say, you know what, that's a need, but that's going to take a lot, or I don't really want to address that need. So you have to put that on the scale too, you know. But I can say this, you know, you have to be willing to soak in the fiber of the area, so to speak, like really get in tune with the people, listen to what's going on, see what the demand is, and then provide it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. You know, we like to say that in the South. So we just have to find what the biggest need is and address that need, you know. And once you do that, then you'll have a successful business, because you actually problem solving. Anytime you solve a problem, you're going to create something, you know. But if you just chase money alone, just working for it, fam, doing that requires a lot of time. And, you know, I think that we should use, you know, I'm always telling people I feel like we should use a job as a stepping stone. I don't think a job is something that you should you should put 40 years on, 20 years on, you know. But I think it is a stepping stone, though. You know what I mean? I think it's meant to get you learn a system, get some finances, and be able to figure out what you want to do. But some people enjoy that type of systematic work, and that's fine, you know, to each his own. But if you got that entrepreneur spirit, or you want to do a business and you're just trying to find your way, you know, you're going to realize that you're not going to get that far off of that job. Because, you know, one fact about a job that really, I can say it irks me, salute this morning, that really irks me, is that a job will control you on the job and off the job. You sign up to that thing, they controlling you when you punch in and when you punch out. And a lot of times, the owners of the company is doing everything that they're telling you not to do, but you're a part of the company, so you got a quote or a standard to stand up by, live by, so to speak. So, you know, my personal opinion, that's why I feel like, you know, I tell people all the time, you know, especially young gentlemen ask me, you know, about jobs. I said, man, use a job like an ATM, man. You can bounce around with that. You get that career, you get you a good solid trade, you go anywhere. But, you know, you're going to meet jobs, especially as Native Americans, Native Black Americans, African Americans, whatever you want to call yourself. I have noticed, just me being the only Black welder, fabricator, ironworker installed on the job, I just have had conflict at times. So you're going to have a little conflict, and there's always be one or two always that you're going to have some problems with. So, you know, after then, you know, you'll be all right, but you have to realize that this is what you want to do forever, or are you trying to do something else? I just get more peace, family, me personally, in product over talent. That's why I like to say product over talent, providing the product, providing the service that you can actually control, you know, because I'm just not with forever being a slave to my talent. Because if I don't ever build something from my talent, then someone is just going to use me for my talent and give me what they feel my talent is worth. And I feel that my talent is worth a lot more than what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this Rising Fam, I think that it's important for us to look for problems, to solve a problem and start a business, you know. And in this economy right now, there's so many ways to switch it up. There's so many ways to really get things going. But we just have to be able to, I would say, bring our living conditions down. If you lower your living conditions some, where, you know, you still living good, but you ain't going extreme with your money, you can actually become your own bank and finance your own ideas and your own business plans. What'd you say, bro? Let me check back in with you. I seen it pop up. Whoo, what you said, the body gets old and hurt. Listen, you can't change that gray, fam. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and, you know, no matter how old you is, you know that it's gonna happen, fam. You gonna get that gray. So we have to think product over talent, man. I just want to say that, product over talent. That's why I always, you know, I look at different ways I can actually create something that I don't have to fully be involved in all the time. You know what I mean? And I think that's a great way to look at things, because you want to create this independent business, but every time anything go on, if you're not involved in it, the business go down. If you get sick, the business go down. If you got to travel, you can't make money. You know what I mean? So we have to think of ways not only just to provide services with our talent, but provide products, fam. Products over talent, because we come up with something, fam, that's valuable, and that's a need. If it's a course, a program, a lot of times, let me say this too. A lot of times when it comes to like clothing and stuff like that, it's a need for sure. But selling a person your clothing, so to speak, isn't necessarily finding a need. We ain't clothing the homeless. You're really selling a brand. So it's more of a person being aware of what you're doing and saying, I stand behind this, and they purchase some of your products, when it comes to clothing. But I think clothing is just a umbrella to help everybody stand under the movement, where people can say, hey, I'm a part of this, and you have some available because you want to bring a more awareness. But, when it comes to clothing, I think that it should be a sub product, so to speak, you know what I mean, of your talent. So you create something with your talent, and then you use advertisement like t-shirts, hats, clothing, things like that. You'll make some passive income that you can actually use to make some investments, but that's not going to be your, you can't really just say you solving a need off a brand, like just doing novelty t-shirts alone, or just doing hoodies alone. You know what I mean? You can have a movement where you're doing others, and you build and making other people's stuff, like if you want to do it like that, say, hey, we make your shirts, our shirts, his shirts, things like that. But you have to think of a brand that, to me personally, or a product that doesn't tie into someone else. And that's has been one of the hardest things for me as far as working on products, because I don't want a product I got to make that I got to depend on John and Paul in order for it to rotate, in order for it to stay, in order for it to stay afloat. So, I have to really, really fine tune your products when you think about like, okay, what can I make that I don't have to depend on this? I have seen companies that, we have to depend on stuff like steel. So when you got a steel product or a metal product, you might have something that'll run out. They ain't got so-and-so right now, or they got it and they charge you a stupid amount of price. Like, for instance, I remember getting a piece of not angle, but C-channel for my welding skids that was once $30-something, fam. They went up to like 80-something, almost $90 for the same stick, 120 for stick. So if you doubling up, almost, tripling on what things cost at one time, you have to change that product up, because that was a good product, but it's hard for me to scale it up in an area where if it's worth $6, I got to sell it for $9 just to make the same money if I was selling for $6. So we have to think about things like that too, fam. So, think of things that, don't need nobody else. Once you create it, it can be created. And that's why, books are good. Courses are good. Video courses, having stuff that's of value where it can actually benefit someone, where you don't have to be tied to it. We know, like I said, we know it takes money to make money. We know that as long as we in this economy, fam, we got to pay something. So we got to have some money coming in, doing something. So, it's all about thinking of ways to say, how can I solve a problem? How can I keep myself afloat without living above my means, but just doing what I need to do. And you know what, to be honest with you, I think that that's going to help you also fine tune everything. Yeah, what you said, you got to be able to break everything down and really, really look at it, fine tune it, fam. I'd be deceitful if I didn't tell you that, you know what I mean? Because it's real out here. And in order to really get above, to get ahead, and you're not tied to the system, you're going to have to think of ways to allow your money to make money. You're going to have to think of ways how, you know, how you can use your time to make money. You using a service, like we have to do whatever we have to do getting things started, but the goal is to solve a problem. So if you come up with the right solution to the problem, fam, it's going to work out. So, you know, I would just say, you know, look for a need, and wherever you at, wherever community you at, like really, really look at it. Listen to the people. Listen, because a lot of times we want to say what we want to do, but we don't want to hear what is needed. It's easy for you to say, man, I want to bring this there, but not knowing there needs this, and the people telling you. So listen to the people too when you finding your products, you know, creating a brand, or when you creating your business, you want to listen to the people. So wherever you at, fam, listen to what's going on. But I will say this, we have to be diverse when it comes to the income, because, you know, we want to be passionate about what we're doing, but in order for you to be fully passionate about your movement, you got to have income too. So like, say if you really want to help kids, you really want to do this, you know, you still got to pay bills here and do this at home. So you got to be able to figure out a way to do both. So the best way, fam, is to find a need. So I'm coming to you live this morning, this rising, talking about it because I have been thinking about it very, very hard on different ways to affect the area that I'm in. Like I say, I'm in Arkansas right now, and while I'm here, I want to be able to get a couple things lined out where I know I'm taken care of on one level or another, and I can take care of bills and, you know, the kids or whatnot. And but being here, things are slower. Like being here is systematic, even with the way the people think. So, you know, even your people only think one way. You know, being out west for sure, you know, it's more income. That's one thing I do love about out west. I can say that the money flow is faster, but in the east it's more conscious. You know, we're more conscious of who we are, our unity. That's why I like Georgia and Atlanta, you know what I mean? But being out west in Phoenix, you know, I like the fact that there was no black ball, so you can always stay on the ground and make something happen. So I think that, you know, sometimes you have to relocate yourself, but you can make some money. I used to hear a old man say you can't squeeze a grape in the South and bake one anyway and make and make you a raisin. You know what I'm saying? So if they look like they going bad, you can bake it. Sit it out in the sun, it'll turn into a raisin, and still utilize it. So sometimes we have to just, you know, think outside the box, fam. Be willing to network. And I want to show you these too. While I'm sitting out here, I got some more brochures in. So here goes some of my brochures of some of my work. And as you see, I show the picture on there as the container I built, a picture of me, and a picture of some railing and handrails that I put in, built and installed. And then, you know, I kind of tell someone about the company with the website. But I think these are great to do for those who need to build some for advertisement. I think it's good. I'm going to just show you mine. Then I have more work in the inside of everything I have done. You know, I have, as you see, different products I have built, different things I have done, installed in the field, you know, and kind of give an overall. And then I tell, and here's some pricing. See, because I zoned in, so you can see, I know the sun kind of beaming in on it, but kind of give some prices, tell about what I'm doing, courses, you know, stuff like that. And I think it's important for us to do that. Like, I have some basic rates. I'm gonna just show y'all some of my rates of this area, because you always have to cater your prices to whatever area you in. So since I'm here, I have some shop and field services. So I have $30 an hour for shop well repair. You just bring something up there, it's a cracked well, you need to be cleaned out, weld up. That's the minimum for that. It's $30 for a shop weld. If it's shop welding and fabrication, I got to make some, I got to do a lot of extensive welding, that price start off at $50 an hour in this area that I'm in. Now, if I was somewhere in Phoenix, that same shop rate to do that to be around $95, $100 an hour to do that. But here, it's a completely different situation. When it comes to my mobile welding, I have mobile welding repairs. The radius, I have actually I have a 2 hour radius, so I travel anywhere within 2 hours from where I'm located at. At this time on the job, I got to actually stay and do radius, and then I charge $75 an hour for mobile welding. And like I say, in certain areas, it goes from anywhere from $100, $125. I started out at one time at 65 in Phoenix. I was charging $65 an hour. Now that the gas went up and everything going up, I had to actually change it some. Salute. Thanks for checking in, fam. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate that. Like I said, I made these to be able to advertise in the area. And then it talks about the courses. I have $1,000 course, 40 hours, MIG welding, $1,000 40-hour stick welding, and then a combo with this MIG, flux core, and stick for $1,850, and it's 80-hour course. And the way I do this is when I do the courses and classes, I tailor around the person, so you don't have to come in and do it Monday through Friday. If you say, hey, I need to do this week, I'm gonna call you, I need to reschedule, do that week, I can work around your schedule. So I'm private. So as long as you give me a heads up, I can work around your schedule. But I think that it's good that we would advertise things like this. So that's why I like to say, once you find a need, and one need in this area is fabrication. So that's a container I built when I'm actually is a product, and my goal is to actually make more of these. Thank you. Yeah, you got to be very flexible, fam. And that's my goal. Like I say, and my goal with this product is to be flexible, to help people with their education, because some people work and I got students that work and they want it on the weekends. I got students that may want it at night because they work in the day and they can, do 2-3 hours at night of welding, 4 hours, whatever they want to do. I'm working around people's schedule, but we have to come up with products. And this here is a product. That shipping container conversion is a product. I built that from hand to start. And I learned something. There was a process when I did these. And as far as the handrails, gates, this was just a field welding repair. Just going out doing field welding, I welded all of those beams up. It was actually a school on that project. We was actually fixing up a school for making the gates to the dumpsters, metal gates, like whatever you need. Like, I'm into doing whatever is needed. I like to say that your imagination is your limitation, especially, when you dealing with someone like me. But my slogan with HogOn is your imagination is your limitation, because if you don't limit yourself, I won't limit mine. You know what I'm saying? I believe I can do anything pertaining to what I do. I like to stay in my lane. Sometimes we like to try to jump in somebody else's lane. And I would say that too, when you're looking for a need, fam, stay in your lane. Know what you do and be a master at what you do, so that way you can be able to pass it down in a proper manner. Don't try to be, I like to say, don't try to be a wide receiver when you a tailback. That's what I'm a running back. I'm too, I'm 5'8". I'm too short to be out there. I'm not 6'0". So no reason for me to be out here trying to jump with them to be a wide receiver. But I can get this rock though, and I can run it. So we just have to know our position, fam. So I say that's very powerful, to just know your position, know your lane, and stay in it. Hold up, I seen something, I didn't catch all that. Thank you, sis. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say I am a perfectionist, but I do like stuff to be nice. Whatever. Like, I like, cosmetics is everything. If you're gonna be in competition with the majors, you got to be able to present a product like the majors. You got to be able to have something of value. You got to have something that looks like this. I was talking to my classmate this morning. I was telling her that, when it came to my music, I said, I realized that I had to make mine sound like, like the major you know, artists that was in the industry. If I didn't, then people weren't going to take me serious. So I had to spend money to figure out, to get the right engineer, the right people behind me to make the project sound like it needed to sound. And then I was able to market around, and, you know, it went from there. But I had to make it sound right. So you want to make things look like it's supposed to be. You know, if you a photographer, you should have everything you need to be a photographer. A person should know you are. That's what you do, and it should look like others that's been doing it a while. You don't have to have the same material, the same equipment. You might not have the same money. They got the same things because they've been doing it longer, but you can make it look right. So, you know, I'm key on doing that. And I also say that, you know, when I say proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, man, if you do it right the right time, you just take your time, you'll never have to go back and redo it and redo it and redo it. You know what I mean? So that's another reason why I really say, you know, I really like to say, I won't say I'm a perfectionist, but I just like to do it right the first time, if possible. You know what I mean? I really hate double working myself, man. But this morning, this rising, I just wanted to talk to y'all shortly. Didn't want to take up too much of your time, but, you know, mornings like this, I really have a lot on my mind. Drinking coffee, thinking, you know, trying to figure out what my next move to be my best move. Yes, what you said, the proper tools, fam. And I think that's, you know what? I'm glad you said that. I want to say something about that. Your tools. You know, we invest in, I remember when I was getting started as an artist, I remember hearing certain artists tell me that I had to have a dress code. Man, you got to invest money in this. You got to look like this. You got to do this. You got to, everything. To me, I'm like, why I got to do all that? I'm just trying to do this. You know what I mean? So sometimes we get caught up trying to have an image, knowing that it takes certain tools. We need certain things that you got to have to make it work. The other stuff is just cosmetics, fam. You know, it's like putting stickers on something, you know what I mean? It's just some stickers, you know what I mean? You know, that they don't really mean nothing. It looks nice, you know what I mean? But it don't have no true value. So get you some tools, fam. Get you some tools when you're working on finding you a need to solve your problem. The right tools is going to make it so easier for you. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't advertise me teaching welding and helping people build their independence if I didn't have no welding equipment. Like, I know welders who say they've been doing it 40, 50 years and they ain't even got a hood. You know what I'm saying? Stickers. But that's what it does. It looks good, like stickers, you know what I mean? Yeah, what you said, King. Like I say, we have to know it, man. We have to know what level we on, and we have to know our own personal value, and we got to realize that a lot of things are just glitter. You know, they don't really have no value. So get you something of some value. You know what I mean? I would rather have valuable, nice things than have liabilities that look real good. I know a lot of people with nice, clean liabilities. They got to take care of, work hard. They can't miss a day on the job because they got to take care of their liability. Fam, I don't want to do that. You know, I just want to even say this. If you're in a situation where you don't have to pay no payment on no vehicles, if you can buy you a vehicle and get the A to B, you know, if your credit ain't right, my personal opinion, I think you should, you know, buy something cash. If your credit good and you want to have something nice, you can lease something and then still sell it and make money. But just to own a liability, own a car, just to go to a job, and man, you know how many people I know been working the jobs, and I see them with 4, 5 cars in their driveway that they broke down, and they still working. I'm looking like, man, you got 6. What was this? What's the story behind each one? I'm like, all this money, you got all this wealth that you done got somebody else rich, and now just sitting there decaying in the yard. Sometimes, family, we got to do better, family. But in order for us to do better, we got to think better. And we most definitely got to know it. If we don't know better, you ain't going to do nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's why I like to just come live and just share my personal information. And what you do with it, fam, you know, I'm hoping someone can get it and sharpen it and do something with it. But my goal is just to just lead by example, fam. I talk about things that I'm actually doing and pursuing or have done. You know, I'm not going to sell you no dreams, you know. I'm not with that. You know, I think we all go through the transformation where you're trying to find who you are, and I pretty much know who I am, and I don't, you know, I don't need a pat on my back, because sometimes you're not gonna get it anyway. You know, for me to be me, I'm just gonna wake up and be me, and just do what need to be done. But I feel like if I discover some jewels, I got to pass it on to someone, you know, so that way one of us can use it to benefit our struggle, man, to get us over the hump, because it's real out here, family. So if we don't stick together and figure out a way to build some generational wealth, figure out a way to get some passive income, figure out a way to get some knowledge to educate our kids, fam, it's gonna get real out here. So I do want to say something, fam. I just want to drop some jewels on somebody that's thinking about a business. If you know something, fam, if you've been doing something 20 years, 10 years, you might be a professional at it. You probably can teach it and tutor it. That's some money right there, fam. All you got to do is advertise it and be willing to do it. And especially if you got the heart of the person to say, man, I like to help people. Yes. You got to, fam. You got to, because you can't expect people to do it for you. You can't expect the people to do it for you. So when you're doing your business, let me say this before I let y'all go, fam. Remember that your dreams is your dreams. Your vision is your vision. Your business is your business. So if you hand it over to someone else and you don't have fully control of it, you can't get mad or get upset if it's not going the way you want it to go, because you can hand your vision, your goals, your dreams to someone else. And what I have learned about that, people, a lot of times, even those you love and they love you, they won't do what you would do with your vision, with your dreams, with your goals. You got to. No matter how much they love you, they not you. So sometimes they might make compromising decisions that you wouldn't have made. You would have said, nah, I'm not moving. They probably move. Yeah, you know what? And once you do that, once you use your own energy, you're going to build the team you're looking for. You're going to get the support you're looking for if you just keep running. You just keep building. You're going to get the people that need to be involved with what you're doing are going to get involved. The ones that you might be wanting to get involved in might was a blessing they didn't jump in. You know, like the blessing you didn't give them that 20% that you was about to give them because you really wanted some help to get on your feet. You're like, man, I give a big portion of my company away. And then you say, you know what? I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? Salute. Yeah. Salute to him. He said some real stuff, Queen. So we have to use our own. And family, I'm going to say this, like, once you do that, you're going to come over the hump. Like, our door is going to open, fam. You just have to be patient and persistent, not willing to give up, you know what I mean? And keep knocking and keep bringing value. So sometimes, you know, you go up, you wake up and you do exercises, fam, but you don't see no results. You still look the same. And then a while you go by, you might pass a mirror or go through at the store, you're buying something, you say, girl, I didn't get right. Boy, I'm toning up. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you might not see it while you're working on it, fam, but it's happening. You're making progress. Y'all be blessed and enjoy y'all Sunday. Hold on.